Hey, I want to take some time today to answer a question that I got the other day from a viewer that was very interesting and kind of introspective. They asked me, what is my own personal worst shooting habit? What do I do that bothers myself the most that I would like to change? And how will I go about changing it? Well, that's actually kind of a difficult question. It's hard to narrow down one thing that I do that I don't like that I do. I would almost say it's the fact that I quite often have a sloppy stance when I shoot because, I'll start off with a proper stance, but I'm old and I'm lazy and I'm achy. So half an hour into shooting, I'm either got a really sloppy stance or I'm even sitting down or leaning against something because, I get tired at the range. If I actually tried to maintain a proper stance the whole time, I probably wouldn't be able to spend as much time at the range because my shoulders would start to hurt, my lower back would start to hurt, my knees would start to hurt. That's just part of being in your 50s, things hurt. So I don't know if I'm even going to be changing that. So I'm not going to say that's my worst habit because, like I said, don't think I'll be changing that. And plus, if you ever have to use your gun in self-defense, you can't guarantee you're going to be in a proper shooting stance or even have an opportunity to get to a proper shooting stance. So I'm okay with shooting lazy because, it makes me be able to stay at range longer and may have to shoot like that someday in self-defense. So I'm all right with it. I know how to get into a proper stance. I can maintain a proper stance. It's tiring at my age. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to move on to something else that I do that I don't like and I would love to actually change, but I'm not having a whole lot of luck doing it. When I shot when I was younger, I grew up shooting revolvers. That's what I was raised on. And if you watch my early videos, that was my passion up until very recently before I switched over to semi-autos. And one thing about revolvers is when you're shooting a double action revolver, you do not want to short stroke the trigger. If you do, it won't fire. Or I'm trying real hard to pull this trigger right now. It won't pull because it locked up because I'm short stroking it. I have to let go of it again before I can fire it. So you get to the point where you have to let that trigger go all the way forward to fire. And because of that, I'm used to doing that. That's just the way I grew up. That's what I learned on. So now that I'm switching over to semi-autos, I'm having that same bad habit. I will pull the trigger and instead of shooting from the reset, that little short reset like that there, which would save me a lot of movement of my gun, a lot of energy, etc., I let the trigger go all the way forward. Sometimes to the point where my finger comes completely off because I'm not really sure how long the trigger pull is. I haven't developed that muscle memory yet. So, and muscle memory I know is a stupid term, but you know what I mean. But I just let the trigger go too far forward. I would love to learn to start shooting from the reset, but it's just not natural to me. It's very difficult for me. There's a lot of people out there that think that's weird because, you grew up on semi-autos and you're used to that first longer pull, but then bep, 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 bep. That is just not, kosher with my brain. It thinks you're going to short stroke the trigger. Your gun's going to fail. So that's what I would like to change. And the only way I'm going to change it is by shooting more semi-autos. And I have been lately. I've been shooting semi-autos a lot more than I have been revolvers. Mainly because 9mm is more friendly to my aging wrists and elbow. But also because I want to get better with semi-autos. And to be better with a semi-auto, to be as you can be with semi-auto, I think you have to be able to shoot from the reset. It has to be a little bit more natural to you. So I've started shooting very slowly. I'll pull the trigger, consciously hold it to the rear, and then slowly let it out to the reset, fire again. I go through quite a few rounds like that. And as I get more conscious of what I'm doing and start doing it subconsciously, I'll just speed up some. And I've already started speeding up a little until where I can do it at full speed. But that's going to take a long time. You got to remember, I've been shooting since I was 8, so almost 45 years of shooting one way to learn to shoot another way. It's going to take more than a month or 2 months or even a year or two probably. So it's going to take me a while, might be 5 or 10 years before I'm ever shooting a revolver, or, semi-auto as well as I shoot a revolver because it's going to take me a while to develop those habits. So that's what I do at the range that bothers me the most. That's my worst shooting habit. Luckily, I don't have any dangerous habits. I just have lazy habits. And that's the one that I want to change the most. I want to be able to start shooting from the reset just naturally. I want it to be kind of automatic. And the only way I'm going to do that is through training, training, training.
You go ahead.
It's the lady at 46 South Rose. 46 South Rose.
Station 1 call, retone that please. 10-4. Got the 4 to go to that location. This is 1-9, is that correct?